to the School of Code. It's time to resume our learning on Zoom. Get out the breakout room.
Hi everyone, we are the Agile Avengers and the creators of Reflect. In the team is myself, I'm Isabel, and before the School of Code, I worked in digital marketing for a charity. I'm now learning to code to help create solutions to real world problems.
Hi, I'm Anna Marie, and after working in HR for 10 years, I took time out to have my children. 7 years on, it was definitely time to escape CBDs and launch a brand new career in tech, as I wanted to prove to the kids it's never too late to go after your dreams.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and in my last job, I sat next to our only developer, and I liked his job a hell of a lot more than mine. So here I am pursuing a career in tech.
Hi, I'm Emma. Previously, I was a paleontologist and focused on researching the past, and now I'd like to help shape the future with code.
Hi, my name is Maddie. I used to work as a biomedical assistant. I'm now at the School of Code to explore the world of tech.
Hi, my name's Alice. I used to work in the bank doing admin, and I want to go into programming because I feel like it will be the last job to be taken over by robots, and I'm excited to be learning the language of our future, which I think will be programming. So initially we were given a brief of how can boot campers best document their holistic experience. Now, the reason why we want boot campers to do this is because we know that well-being wise it's been proven time and time again that journaling helps positively affect your mental health and general mood. We really want the boot campers to try their best not to get overly stressed, and one way of de-stressing is by completing journal entries and getting your thoughts and feelings out there. It's the beginning of a new chapter for many of us, and we want to be able to log our thoughts in an open and honest way. Obviously, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many of the boot campers, and we don't want it to pass them by in a flash. We want them to be able to retrospectively review their time on the course and keep a check on how their skills have grown and how their moods and mindsets have changed while progressing through the boot camp. Can help motivate you in any of your future endeavours to see how you've successfully overcome a course which had such an accelerated learning environment. So in regards to the current daily format of we've got some daily reflection forms on Google, and we have a few problems. One of our main problems is that there isn't any access to previously submitted reflections, which can lead us to sometimes feeling like there's not much point in documenting, as we can't really review it once we've submitted. Currently, we don't really have a central hub to access our submissions, and it's only really available by sending your forms to your email and then searching through your email to see what you'd said that day, which can be quite long-winded. Another issue relating to the forms is that boot campers can't always be honest with their thoughts and feelings, as the forms aren't anonymous and coaches are able to review it all. So if you've had a bad day and you don't want to come across as rude, maybe you won't be so honest with your feelings, which obviously we don't want. And finally, we found that there's a lack of participation from the boot campers when it came to filling out the forms. People just weren't keeping track on how their mood was being affected, and it was a bit of a disconnect for some of us, as we're more used to documenting using social media with things like photos or voice notes. With the current format, there's only really options to add text or a YouTube link, which can be inconvenient if you just wanted to quickly jot something down and not spend half your day trying to upload something to YouTube. So now I'm going to hand you over to Emma to give you guys a live demo of our solution.
Thank you, Alice. So welcome to our app Reflect. This is a mobile-first app where boot campers can document their day-to-day life whilst at the School of Code. So I'm going to sign in as a user who's already started the boot camp. We've used Auth to authenticate our users, and this passes on a bit of information such as their email address and an access token to retrieve the personalised information from our database. When a new user logs on for the first time, they're first taken to a profile page where they can set their start date and register for our app. As an established user, I'm first taken to our mood recording page, where I can quickly and easily record my mood for the day. So I'm just going to select this emotion here. I'm then taken to our journal entry page, where I can submit my mood straight away, or I can add a bit more detail. So as Alice said, the previous form was quite dry. We wanted to make it a bit more fun and engaging, so we have rotating questions which appear in this journal entry box, and these change every time you log in. We also have many different multimedia types, so I can add a picture, I can add videos and audio, and this means that it just makes it a bit more interactive. So once I am happy with this in the preview, I can submit it, and I'm then given a nice toast notification that tells me my post was successful, and I've also got a 2-day posting streak. So now when I'm on my timeline, I can see the post I've just made, and I can either favorite this or I can delete it. I've done it in error, and I can look back and see all the different posts I've made throughout my time. I can also view things in a couple of different ways, such as showing my favorites. I really like this logo, and I can also order them in a few different ways, either by mood or oldest to newest. So I can see here the first post I ever made. I had a great first day and everyone was really friendly. That's nice to see. But a couple of weeks into the course, I was having a bit of a tough time with array methods. We were just introduced to them and I wasn't really enjoying it. But a couple of weeks later on from that, I can now look back and realize I actually love array methods. They're really powerful. So I can actually see how much I've developed and grown while on the course. So I'm going to now pass you over to Jeremy, who's going to give you an introduction to a couple of more features we have on our app.
Thanks, Emma. And as you can see, Emma's just switched to dark mode on our app, which I actually personally prefer. So when people are on a transformational journey like School of Code, it's natural that their moods are going to fluctuate when they're being pushed out of their comfort zone. So as you can see here, our mood stats page shows you your last 10 moods, just lets you look back on it. And you can also look at your all-time moods across the whole bootcamp. We also have a general moods page. So if people kind of struggled on a particular day, they can look and see how everyone else is feeling as well. So on Monday there, we can see we probably went for a late lunch or something because there's a lot of hungry stomachs there. Whereas if we go to the next day, everyone's feeling a lot better. I think there's some well-fed boot campers there. So that's our general moods page. We've also got a timeline, which just reflects over your, sorry, not the timeline. This is your journey page, which just shows you your entire journey. And as you can see, Emma's got halfway through hers. At the top there, you've actually got a quote which will change depending on how far you are through your journey. But Emma is halfway through hers. She's still got a little bit of a way to go. So I'll pass you back to Emma now to talk about the trophies.
Thanks, Jeremy. So we also created a personalised trophy cabinet. It's really important for boot campers to celebrate their achievements. And here boot campers can award themselves trophies when they feel like they've mastered or they've really got to grips with a technology or skill. So at the end of kind of our 4-week project, I really feel like I got to grips with JavaScript and Trello. So I can award myself these and I get a nice little congratulations message. At the bottom of the cabinet, we also have our posting streak trophies, which are awarded automatically if boot campers post regularly. We wanted to give our users an extra dopamine hit every time they posted, and this gamification element encourages boot campers to come back regularly. And lastly, the bootcamp isn't just about your individual learning. A big part of the School of Code is teamwork and pair programming. This page describes what each of the Myers-Briggs personality types are like to work with, which is something we were introduced to on the School of Code. This is really important as it enables users to reflect on their own and their partner's working practices and promotes users' well-being. At the end of the day, I can then log out and I'm given an encouraging message to come back and log back in the next day. So that's the end of our demo, and that was our app Reflect. It's a really easy and colourful way and an interactive way for boot campers to document their experience. So I'm now going to pass you over to Mehdi, who's going to give you some insight into how we came up with our solution.
Thank you, Emma. So initially as a group, we first spoke about our understanding of the problem and the current format of daily Google Forms, which we used to reflect and summarize our data School of Code. We then subsequently, as part of our market research, sent out anonymous feedback forms to our fellow boot campers to get back honest feedback on the current format, as well as doing one-to-one interviews with coaches. We also got back data about engagement levels, and by analyzing this data, we had noted that there was a drop-off in bootcamp performance entry over the weeks. So we subsequently went back to our market research to help us identify possible reasons for this, with some of them being that boot campers often felt the lack of ownership over the current format, as they would send off forms but then not see them again, as well as just find the overall system just very disengaging. So we believe we have identified a couple of possible solutions for this. One of them being is by providing boot campers with a space where they can personalize and make their own with multimedia posts to help them reflect and look back, as well as by integrating push notifications, which is a great tool for upping engagement levels and just to remind you at the end of a long day to reflect and look back. We also make sure to get regular feedback through the different iterations of the app from our fellow boot campers, and we try to integrate some of those well-requested features. one of them being gamification, which is a great incentive for coming back and using the app, as well as bringing the nav bar down from the top for ease of use. I'll now hand you over to Anna for the next part of the presentation. Thank you very much.
So our solution is to build a personal space where boot campers can record their journey during this incredible experience, as well as keep track of how they feel and what they've learned. It was really important to us that it was engaging, easy to use, and could be accessed from anywhere as long as they had their phones with them. As such, we decided to build a mobile-first designed progressive web app, as boot campers were tired and often couldn't face logging back into their computers after a long day. Plus, it gave them the freedom to use it in the morning at breakfast, during a lunch break, or even on the loo. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend that. As you can see, the app can be installed to your mobile phone for quick access from your homepage. We incorporated streaks and push notifications to entice, send reminders, and check on the well-being of the cohort. You can see an example of how notifications look on a mobile here. Finally, to enable them to express themselves in any way that they felt comfortable, we included the ability to use multimedia, such as voice recordings or video logs that can be uploaded or captured directly from the phone, as shown in the video on the right. With regards to planning, due to the wide array of features we wanted to include, detailed planning was essential. We initially used Trello boards for our Disney ideation and to store links to research. Draw.io was used to map out our epics and story points, as well as our data flow and what database tables we needed. We used the design app Figma to outline our customer journey, so we knew what pages were required and how we wanted the user to move through the app. And finally, Jira provided us with the ultimate tool to create a backlog of tasks, allocate them to sprints, and review and divide tickets each day. It was essential to make sure that we were all on track and we had full visibility of where we were on the project at all times. We worked in an agile way, having a stand-up every morning, a midday catch-up, and an end-of-day retrospective. We then rotated project manager for each sprint to ensure that everybody benefited from stepping into this management role. Now, to tell you a little bit more about our technical stack, I'm going to pass you over to Jeremy.
Thanks, Anna-Marie. So yeah, I'm going to talk you through the tech that we used for Reflect. So on the front end, we built our PWA using React. We decided React over React Native. We had a bit of a decision on our hands with that, but we decided React gave us a bit more versatility across different devices, and we were able to make that PWA. As far as the packages used, we use a lot of different ones, but some of them are React Router, Material UI, Chart.js, and the front end was deployed on Netlify. Chart.js in particular was a really good way to visually represent the moods back to the bootcamper on that moods stats page. So the backend was built using Node.js Express. The database was built using PostgreSQL and hosted on Heroku. And lastly, the testing was done using Jest and Supertest. And this really just gave us the full confidence that the app was working as it should be and nothing was going to go wrong. Across both the front and back end, we implemented Auth0, which dealt with the authorization and authentication of our app. And then lastly, we've got Cloudinary, which gave us just a really slick, cool way to allow users to upload their multimedia. We also have our app's evolution here, just shown visually. So on the left there, you can see we've just got a bare bones. We've got just the functionality of the app working, not much aesthetically going on. And then as we went on, we added sort of more stuff. We added dark mode, and then we added a bit more vibrancy to the app. And finally, you've got that kind of polished journal entry page there at the end showing. And that is our app's evolution. So I'll now pass you over to Isabel, who's going to talk about future improvements to the app.
Thanks, Jeremy. So as we continue to develop the app, we'd like to incorporate features based on feedback from the iteration that we just demoed. You can see from our roadmap that working in 3 pairs, we plan to firstly schedule the push notifications. So as Anna said, these would help to increase usage of the app. These would be based on dates such as Hackathon Friday and also laws in activity. We'd like to create a coaches environment using Auth0 scope and access control. Initially, this is for coaches to view the bootcamper's general mood, just for them to kind of get a sense of the cohort's well-being. We'd like to produce an onboarding flow, so introducing new users to the app and explaining how and why they should use it to document their School of Code experience. We'd like to expand the gamification. So looking to apps like Duolingo, we want to keep people engaged and willing to share their experience by rewarding people for activity in the app. And then finally, we want to make it reactive to negative moods from boot campers. So if a boot camper posts multiple negative emotions, they'll be directed to book in a session with a coach just to help with individual well-being. So reflecting on Reflect, our problem was to help boot campers document their holistic experience. We have done this in a fun, engaging, simple and secure way, and our users think so too. Our user feedback showed that 100% of respondents would use our app over the current format, which we're really pleased about. We're all really proud of Reflect as well. It's been a lot of fun building it together, and we've all grown so much. To think that 16 weeks ago, most of us didn't know what a function was, and 4 weeks ago, we were researching how to build a mobile app just seems crazy. I'm so excited to see all the amazing things everyone in the team is going to do, and a huge thank you to the School of Code team for making this possible. So thank you for listening to our presentation, and are there any questions?